Good, man. How's it going?
Man, I'm swell, man.
How you guys feeling?
Confident.
Confident? I like that.
I got my boy Justice, man.
Hey, you know what? I'm going to say this. Justice was such a – I mean, we talked about this on day one and we talked about this on day two, specifically when we were talking about Henderson. But if we're talking about the type of impact, the type of role that we were looking at, Justice Hill just as good of a job. You know what I mean? I will say, though, I think Henderson has – I like Henderson actually better running between the tackles, and I think his just the way he's able to shed contact is better. But you're talking about a guy who is going to be completely electric in our offense, and I love adding Justice Hill to our running back group.
The key is like shiftiness or shakiness, if you will. So, yes, between the tackles, Henderson is that guy, but we've already got Gus Edwards to do that, and he doesn't do anything but, just go forward. So do you want a guy with some more pep in his step like Justice, or another kid that just, straight downhill shooter, but, more yards downfield, obviously?
But, I mean, here's the thing, though. We got three guys that all kind of profile very similar already on the roster. That's why Justice Hill is such a perfect fit, too, because I didn't want another – I know some people wanted Benny Snell, but, we didn't need another guy like that. Oh, and by the way, New England just traded up.
Yeah.
New England traded up ahead of us, so that's interesting.
So who had that pick?
It was Minnesota. Oh, Dallas took Michael Jackson. That's an interesting pick.
Ravens had a visit with him, too.
Mm-hmm.
Columbus and Dayton set of the first official game.
Yeah. So New England's pick should be right in.
In Rochester, New York, whose team first thrived on neighborhood sandlot football.
And you know what's crazy?
And Rock Island, Illinois.
If New England takes Kelvin Harmon here, I might have a mental breakdown, because if they walk away with N'Keal Harry and Kelvin Harmon, bruh.
That'd be a great pick for them, man. Because they're even with Harry, their receiving core is there.
Still weak. Yeah. And if you wanted almost a perfect kind of quarterback to pair with a guy like Harmon, you'd look at, Brady, Rivers, Breeze.
They still don't even know.
Those are guys, Rodgers.
In the round of 6. Now,
Man.
original towns
And then they'll use him correctly. They're gonna put him in an offense to succeed.
Yeah.
I still think they got to come out with a tight end out of this draft, though, man.
That's right. They haven't taken one.
They haven't taken a tight end yet.
And Gronk no longer there, but
Man.
big man, N'Keal Harry, as well as they got themselves a quarterback in Jared Stidham. We'll talk about that right about now, because 5 picks through the first 2 rounds, 2 more picks today for Bill Belichick.
Oh man, who are we in? There's such an interesting lot of players available at 160. I know. I'm shocked that he fell before some of the centers that were taken before him. Do I think he's a little scheme specific though? Yeah, but still.
Yeah, I thought he'd be like a fourth
Still
rounder.
a little bit of a shock. Jeff Z thinks it might be a defensive lineman. I mean, if we're going to go defensive lineman, Dalen Mack. Oh, wow, they took Byron Cowart. They jumped in front of us. Isaiah Buggs, Gerald Willis. I mean,
I'm still holding out hope for Charles Omenihu.
I mean, Joe Jackson.
Joe Jackson,
Joe Jackson from Miami.
DeAndre
Walker is still there too.
DeAndre Walker would be nice.
Christian Miller's still around too.
No, Christian Miller. The Panthers.
Oh, he got selected?
Yes.
Oh shit, I didn't even see that.
Man, this is breaking down. My connection. Hold up, what's going on? Let me catch this out.
You put the tape on. Problem with the tape, against pressure, he's not really productive. Now, early in the
somebody's listening to Charlie Cassidy.
Our pick is in. Boom.
Inside pocket. This guy's
Lamont. It's totally Lamont.
This guy gets protection. This guy's really.
It's got to be right.
This is what
Lamont or Dalen Mack.
Here.
I can see either one.
you talk about those name brands that they're bringing in. I like the wide receiver N'Keal Harry. They got get a tight end, but he's
ESPN
the hell
might
are
be
they
2 seconds
taking?
ahead.
Tight end, very productive, 22 TD receptions
Man.
in college. Can you imagine Tom Brady in the red zone with this guy being matched up one-on-one? I mean, it's phenomenal. So I think they did great by getting N'Keal Harry. Okay, we'll move along because
Really
Tom Brady,
interested. Dalen Mack. I can see
Oh,
that.
the other guy.
Oh, Dalen Mack.
That's what they took.
Dalen Mack.
I like it.
I like that pick.
I
Yep.
like it a lot.
I had
I
Jared
really
Wilson
like
a little
that.
bit higher, but all right.
I like it, man. He's
Yeah,
like
don't
the
get me
perfect
wrong.
replacement for Michael Pierce.
Pierce
No,
insurance.
No, I'm telling you, they're gonna keep Pierce, man. They're gonna keep him around. Brandon Williams is gonna be wheeled out of here in a year and a half.
And
Man,
I'm gonna say this. I know that I would not be surprised if Brandon Williams was cut next summer.
how much? What would be the
Maybe not-
the
maybe not
financial
cut.
implications?
Ask that
Maybe
Brian
not cut.
McFarland guy, the salary cap dude.
There's only like I think there's like 8 million. Hold up, I'll look it up.
Well, no, there's only one pick left in the middle of the sixth somewhere.
Yep.
The Pizzone from Pizza Hut.
Yeah.
It's meaty, cheesy, melty, and you know it's big. The pepperoni Pizzone is back and part of the $5 lineup. 2 or more, just $5
Man.
each. No one out pizzas.
Hold on, I forgot what I
What do
was
you serve up in that no-name charcoal burns out early? Chicken tartare.
Can't believe Kelvin Harmon is still around. That is nuts.
There's got to be something medically wrong with him or some bullshit, man. This league can't be doing him like that.
Let's see.
I mean-
proven better on pain than Tylenol extra strength. And
There are a lot of guys right here.
I'll take
Think about all of the years.
Has
Well, the
have the
Ravens
Texans
need
taken
a
any
wide
interior
receiver.
offensive line?
Yeah, I thought they did.
So Tytus Howard was the first guy they picked on the outside. Then they picked somebody else in, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, Max Sharping. They haven't taken interior
Sharping.
offensive line.
Thank you.
That's a guy. This is a place where I can see Lamont going. I mean,
Who else is around? How about the Ole Miss kid? The Wisconsin guy's still out there. That Bo, I can't pronounce his name.
by the way,
Blanco?
Dalen
Yeah.
Mack was a 5-star recruit coming out of high school.
Yeah, man.
He's got that
So-
SEC
Pardon?
grind, man.
So if they cut Brandon Williams after the 2019 season, he'll be close to 10 million against dead money.
Oh, never mind then. That's a lot.
Yeah,
It's got-
they,
it's
It's
got-
only
they
going to
would,
be very small.
yeah, they would only save like 4 million and change.
See, but even then, I still think that if they resigned Michael Pierce because we have so much cap space next year, the idea would be possibly Michael Pierce and Dalen Mack being just thinking forward, you know what I mean? Could be the
Yeah,
potential inside duo.
I would love that
Because-
to be honest.
Because Brandon Williams, I honestly think, maybe not next summer, but with our cap situation, I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility to have Brandon Williams and Michael Pierce with high money contracts on our salary cap.
Yeah, it's definitely not. I mean, Brandon Williams doesn't affect the quarterback, so why would you have a guy that doesn't affect the quarterback eating so much cap space?
And this is why Dalen Mack is fine for this role. You're asking him to fill in situational pass rush.
Yep.
You know, they do that nickel package, big nickel, whatever that is. Big jumbo, whatever they call it.
And he's athletic, man. He's similar to Pierce, like one of those big bears.
I mean, and they have a very similar height weight profile too.
Yep.
Yep.
Live from NRG Stadium.
I mean, I have to say this is probably the first time where, even with the Biggie Marshall pick, you know, it fits the profile of us talking about how quarterback might be a secret need. And
With the 161st pick in the
What up?
2019 NFL draft, the Houston Texans select Charles Armanado.
oh,
Damn.
All right, now I'm
Staying
gonna
in Texas.
so I'll refrain from saying anything.
He's staying there.
Yeah.
Jumping in the pool just like that, making a pick. Anytime you get a guy from
Oh, there's
the
Dalen Mack. I was hoping.
state of Texas, that's always a win, especially right now for the Houston Texans. So
Man, I really like the Dalen Mack pick. I'm not going front. He was someone that was sneaky. I remember seeing that he was getting like second, third round love at some point.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw him on a lot of top 100 boards, so I'm kind of shocked that he fell to us to 160. But hey, I'm very happy with it. I'm really okay. I knew we weren't going to. I was very high on our inside linebackers, and I really love what they. But I'm really shocked to see us not even. I would have guessed we would have taken one at least by now, but
I
no
agree.
inside linebackers, huh?
I mean, they.
I mean,
But they have a habit of getting a bunch of UDFAs to play that spot.
Yeah, exactly. And I know they were high on Chris Board too.
I forgot about Board being
Mhm. Cameron Smith, that's another linebacker that I like.
All these USC players going to
The linebacker that I would say to keep an eye on.
David Long.
What? David Long, but the guy that I would pinpoint for the Ravens, either as an undrafted free agent or in round 6, if they were to go this route, is a guy named Caden Ellis out of Iowa, I believe. No, not Iowa.
Idaho.
I was gonna say
Idaho. There we go. Yeah, Idaho. I know it started. Yeah, I was like, I know it starts with an I. I know him late in the process, and he's if you talk about athletic profiles, he'd be really interesting fit. But man, we are what? We got 197, so we're like another 30-something picks away.
That's about right.
Yeah.
This offense now looks like a real NFL offense, an offense that can be.
So Von Coney got picked, right?
No, he's still out there.
He's still out there?
Yep.
They also did the free agents. Yeah, they did a free agency, but I want to
Hold on, who's still out there?
Tavion Coney from Notre Dame.
Oh, man.
163 is now. 197 is where the Ravens sit.
197.
I mean, if we're gonna go back to the linebacker position, we got
Oh, Potter!
yeah. And you know, if we're talking about a 2-down thumper role, someone like who I like Trey Watson, if not more than I like Mac Wilson. And I'd be just fine with him. I think he would be a really physical presence too.
How crazy is that? 2 punters.
But I'm
and
still
a
gonna say
kicker.
this. I still can't believe Kelvin Harmon and DeMarcus Lodge are still out here.
Left-footed, though, I don't think.
I just don't get it.
And all of these years that the Ravens wait to take wide receivers, and this year in the 5th round, there's going to be Emmanuel Hall, there's going to be Kelvin Harmon,
And DeMarcus Lodge, David Sills.
I would easily take those guys over Jaleel Scott or Jordan Lasley last year.
100%, which is the weird thing, yeah. Oh, I think the guy that really surprises me because of his athletic profile is Emmanuel Hall. I mean, I'm not a big fan of Emmanuel Hall, but
I like him, but the thing with him is
Anthony
medicals
Johnson,
too.
Jacoby Myers.
Yeah, Stanley Morgan Jr.
I'm not that big on Stanley.
I don't know
Morgan.
why my connection is so.
I like him, but I've seen some people have him like in their top 10. I wouldn't go that far.
They're the team to beat, but I'll tell you what, it is going down fast. Okay. Now if they lose Tyreek Hill, that is huge.
Yeah.
Who's EJ Speed?
The first thing you
I've
What a
never
great
even heard.
name, dude. Oh my god.
What a great name!
What's his
But
40?
this guy sounds like a creative player. EJ Speed.
What?
Damn, 6'3", 227. Big boy.
Anybody got that Conor McGregor thing of who the fuck is that
Hold
guy?
on. I gotta find out. I hope this guy is fast. I'm gonna laugh my ass off if he's not. Wait, they say he's a wide receiver, but they just listed his.
What was that? You cut off.
Boy.
Is he a wide receiver
Wait,
or is he an
oh,
edge
yeah.
rusher? Because
What the hell? Yeah, he got
is he a wide
11.5
receiver?
career sacks.
they were posting his tackles. And,
I've never heard of him in my life. I never even heard of that school.
This Stanford punter's
I'm
good
pulling
shit,
him up right
man.
now. So we got 31 pick, 31, 32 pick. Never even heard of that school. Tarleton State, EJ Speed. This guy sounds like a made-up name on.
Madden, totally.
Yeah.
Career franchise,
Whole-
CFM.
Yeah, seriously, this sounds like a completely made-up profile right now.
Is that college even exist? Was that Tarleton something? Whatever that is.
It's probably an online college.
Tarleton
Okay, so
State.
what? This is so weird. Yo, bro, he's listed as a wide receiver and a linebacker.
One of
No.
those schools.
I'm not even joking. Hold on, I'm gonna screenshot something to y'all.
Who took him?
You
The
guys are gonna
Patriots?
laugh.
No, the Colts took this cat.
Or the Colts took him?
Patriots took that punter from
The
Stanford.
Colts.
All right, so
Hold on.
if you
I
go,
just
if you go to
I just
YouTube,
tweeted it
there's-
to y'all, by the way. I just tweeted it to you guys. Look, the first entry is wide receiver, and the second entry is first entry is linebacker, second entry is wide receiver. What is he?
Oh, Joe Jackson got picked. Good for him, man.
Oh, and that's a good
Joe
spot for him too.
Wow.
That's a good
And
spot.
they took.
Rod Marinelli got a new toy.
If I'm reading this
Yo,
right,
they went back to back Miami kids. Right, but look at his name is what's going. I don't know. I'm not even gonna try. I'm gonna guess he's a linebacker.
That's strange.
Okay, there are multiples on the table. One is
His college only got 4 cheerleaders. That tells you everything right there, man. Where the hell is that school anyway?
I have no clue.
I don't know.
Fort Worth, Texas. Stevensville, Texas. Cost $15,000 to go there.
Stevenson, Texas.
Let's see.
So where we at? 192?
What? Yeah. No, 197.
197.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're 30 minutes away.
Wow, they're called the Texans or the Texans if you are on the female teams. It's pretty clever. At least that's not as bad as like when they call like SMU like the Lady Mustangs. Like, that's not even possible.
Lady Mustangs.
Well, shit, Notre Dame got a damn woman leprechaun now. Well, first, they don't even exist. Don't think of anything, man.
And Joe Jackson, that's a great pick for the Cowboys.
I agree.
That
Be right back.
I was about to say, is there another Shaquem Griffin?
that's funny as shit.
That was just so great last year in Dallas. Denver here at Tootsie's. That's the scene on the roof. Across the street from us. Down the road from us. So many rooftop parties going on here.
Yo, so Dalen Mack at the Shrine game, Benjamin Albright interviewed him, and Benjamin asked him if he played Madden and which team, and Dalen Mack said that he usually plays with the Pats, but he creates himself as a quarterback and forces Brady to retire. I find that really fucking hilarious.
For the quarterback.
That's just funny as shit to me. I mean, that's pretty funny. Oh man. Oh, Easton Stick finally went. Quarterback.
Chargers.
The running back group right now in Washington. Another old-faced.
Yep.
Yes!
Developmental guy.
I just fucking hung up on my wife because Easton Stick got picked. That's great. Dude, I love this cat, man.
Easton Stick got picked. Yeah. What?
He can't throw the ball more than
they're showing
40
off.
yards. I'm telling you, like, these intermediate crossers and shit, dude, it works. You can develop this kid. And he can run.
Man. They'll have a few years to do so.
Yes, exactly. That's a nice situation for him.
Man.
Wait.
I'm
Talking about the fact that
That
Stanford
Jalen-
pumped right-footed. They've been watching this show.
They didn't spend any time talking about David Mack on.
Oh, that's
They
cool.
just went right through it. Yeah, they're going through these picks now.
So now we're less than 30 picks away.
I think that even the front offices on day 3 get just, impatient,
Yeah.
just want to go home. They're all tired,
Yo, let's get through this, man.
Right.
Yeah.
Clayton Thorson?
Whoa.
Oh my god, he's so fucking awful.
Wow. Clayton Thorson.
Oh, wait, don't they have someone that they really like? What was the?
Carson Wentz?
No, not Wentz. Wentz's backup. Shit, what's his name?
Oh, Nate Sudfeld?
Yeah, Sudfeld. They like Sudfeld.
Oh yeah, Nate Sudfeld.
I was at the game where he set the passing record against Michigan.
Oh, you were there?
Yeah, it was a double overtime game. He threw for like 500 yards. Like, it was just a shootout the whole way. It was one of the weirdest Big Ten games I've ever seen in my life.
Wait, you live in Michigan?
No, I live in Ohio.
Oh, okay.
And that was back when they had their stadium, like it was before their redesign, when like their end zone used to be like a field goal, like an actual like an end zone and a field goal. And like they would kick balls back there and like little kids could keep them and shit. They ripped it up and then put a bunch of executive suites out there. I hate the new look, and it changed the wind too. So it's similar to what they did in Baltimore, where they like open and close the sections,
Yep.
and it changes how the direction comes in. I mean, Clayton Thorson would be fine as a QB3, but not as a QB2 at all.
Yeah, he's probably gonna be their QB3 behind Sudfeld. I gotta be honest. I'm liking DeCosta's pick so far, and his aggressiveness to like really address the offense.
It's a way different approach than what Ozzie would have done.
Yep.
What
He had a plan in mind, and it's clear. You could see what his plan is. It's speed.
What was Dalen Mack's rags?
Oh, I just retweeted it.
Man,
too. It wasn't,
hella bugging out on me right now.
it wasn't as good as I thought it was.
A lot of these guys come back pretty fast.
Yeah, it was below average.
It was actually low. He actually his RAS is pretty low. But
4.17.
sorry, I didn't hear anything y'all said the last like couple minutes because my connection just went bugged out. But
You should
I just
listen.
want to say one thing. If you guys can hear me, is that if there's one guy that just looks like a Raven, plays like a Raven that we've drafted so far, Dalen Mack fits that, and so does Ben Powers. Like, I really love that in
I would
regards
say
to our
Mack more than
wow.
Howard does, but-
DeAndre
and
Walker to tight
Walker
is such a great pick here. But like those two guys really embody who we are, and I'm very excited for that.
Yeah, that's actually what we were talking about. Is like the how well DeCosta's been picking so far, and how aggressive he's been, like with his vision that he's had.
Freezing, my internet must be shit.
Cowboys chose 2 players out of
What's
Miami.
going
Michael
on?
Jackson and Joe Jackson. There's no Jermaine coming in. What do you think of those 2 defenders from the
All right,
I'll be right back. I gotta figure out what's going on with my internet.
The NFC,
All right.
And then you also
Daniel
have
Jones,
physical end.
Dwayne Haskins, Clayton Thorson. And Dallas is supposedly in the market for a QB in this draft.
Those are some powerhouses you just named. They're all the next Brady.
Clayton Thorson might even be better than Daniel Jones.
That's not a stretch. Wow. I'm looking at the list of wide receivers still on the board. It's amazing.
Emmanuel Hall. Penny Hart, how about that? He's out there.
Yep. Manuel Hall, Penny Hart,
Oh,
Keyshawn
Preston
Johnson.
Williams, if anybody checks out his character.
Preston Williams, who texted the girl 200 times.
From Buffalo, because he got over 200 yards like 6 times in his career. That Wesley kid from Texas Tech.
I like Wesley a lot.
I know one of our boys last night, he was a big fan of Jazz Ferguson. If you're into special teams, Jacoby Myers is out there.
Yep.
Terry Godwin's still around.
Terry Godwin's there. So some good names, man. Travis Fulgham, too. Forgot about him.
Slayton from Auburn is still around, I think.
I thought he would go earlier, too. Man.
What do the Rams need here? Interior.
Rams, yeah.
Welcome
All right.
back, buddy.
Yeah, my internet's been bugging out. I just had to go see if I could fix it real fast. I don't know if it did, but it's already
Yeah.
better.
Yeah, you seem better now.
Have you tried turning it
Yeah.
off and back on again?
Yeah, that's pretty much what I did. Just get it a really reset.
The right choice.
Oh, man, that was bugged out. But yeah, Dalen Mack, Ben Powers. We talk about Ravens. I would definitely stamp that on them. Now, the guy we've all been wanting, Lamont, is still there.
I don't think he makes it to 197.
I'd be stunned if he made it to 197. But quite frankly, I have no idea which direction they're going to go with 197 because, I mean, Lamont would be a fit. But at the same time, they might like Skura and Bozeman a lot more than we do. You know what I mean? So we'll see. But I'm, like we said too, I like Skura. I like the progression he's made. So maybe they see that progression continuing.
Yeah, I do too. I feel like they should like let him. They should just give him a guard next to him that's can actually play, and then let's see how he does.
No, just right there. I know on the other side, though, it's a little bit different.
Yeah. I mean, and a true guard prospect could be still taken at 197 because once again, Yonda, this could be his final year, so we could take Powers and another guard to potentially be the future there at guard on both sides. So it'll be a really cool story to see Ben Powers move the right guard because Powers and Orlando Brown are so close. But
yeah,
I mean,
there it is.
Yeah.
Oh, trench pick, David Edwards.
David Edwards.
Hey, I mean that's another guy that kind of fell down some boards.
Yeah,
because I didn't think he was going to be here in 5th.
That's a good pick for him too, man.
Yeah, because on top of that, I'll say this. Some of the offensive tackles, I think I would have taken David Edwards over some of the offensive tackles that have been taken over the last.
It's ranked really high on my list of all the people that I was quote unquote scouting.
Really? Okay.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, this is. I mean, who was the other O lineman that the Rams took in this draft?
Cody
Or did they
Ford.
not? No, not the Rams. That was the Bills.
Oops.
Damn.
You did take another line, though. Where's my rewind button?
Man,
Let me see. I'm looking it up now.
or is this their first O line?
I do not recommend this product. It does not work.
Cleveland at once, man, and Cleveland for not having draft picks, they've done a really good job.
Oh, the Rams took Bobby Evans.
That's right, Bobby
Yeah, I
Evans.
do that.
So Evans and Edwards. Wow. Okay.
Can I put you all on the minds of the time?
Okay. Now, what is Cleveland going to do? I swear to God, if they take Kelvin Harmon, I might cry. I mean, Greedy, Mac as late as they took him, and for man, take someone off, please. Yes, take a kicker, take someone.
Or just forfeit the pick.
Exactly, just give it to us for free, bro.
Oh, that was close. Oh shit. Oh, damn it.
Who did they take?
Austin Seibert, Oklahoma, my #1 rated kicker, dude.
They took a kicker?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
You spoke
Austin
it into
Seibert.
existence.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
I thought they would take Seibert because he has more swag than Tracy, because he has more swag than Seibert does. And, you know, John Dorsey loves dudes that have that. Think about Baker, Odell. I mean, that team is just a bunch of divas. Seibert is just, oh my God, he can fire a kick. It's stupid.
Yeah, I haven't seen any of him.
You know what's crazy?
He's good, man. Like, he's really, really fucking good.
Undrafted free agency is going to be wild. And on top of that, I think there's the whole first, like, post-draft veteran being cut. I think there are going to be a lot of interesting cats that hit the free agent market after this weekend. Some really interesting guys. Some people have started talking about who's that?
Chris Harris.
Chris Harris. Minnesota's kind of floating around. Trey Waynes or Xavier Rhodes.
Yeah,
I
one
mean,
of them gotta go out.
Minnesota's also floated off. I mean, there's going to be some really interesting.
How many?
That's why
runners-
the Costa wanted to keep some
Do
money
we see
around.
a Patrick Peterson trade?
Patrick Peterson.
Yeah,
should-
exactly. Wow.
Giants pick is in.
They took Darius Slayton, which is an
That's
interesting
nice.
pick, but once again,
Dude, think of, who are the
why
Giants
the hell?
receivers?
I mean, this guy,
Shepard
I
and
like
Coleman?
Darius Slayton personally.
That's we were just talking about him when you cut off a little bit.
Oh,
Yeah.
I swear, one of you's watching this on NFL Network. The other one, still NFL Network, both.
Yeah, but mine is on mute pretty much.
Okay. I got it on both ESPN and NFL Network, so I can get some comparison and contrast.
Which one do you think has been better this year?
Yeah.
NFL Network is always better. No Kuiper's
Yeah.
a bonehead, dude.
Yeah, I haven't watched ESPN in I don't know how
Shea
long.
does his job way better, and Daniel Jeremiah is way more, knowledgeable, and he pieces shit together real nicely. But Rich Eisen is the best personality there is.
Oh my God, everything is so effortless.
Yeah,
He's got. I missed the chemistry that he had with Mayock.
Mayock. Oh, dude, I could do this exactly like Mayock. Well, if you come back in the second round and then you fire up the corner. So we got Trayvon Mullen this time, and then we come back in the fourth round. We need some offense. So we get Foster Moreau out of LSU. I don't really know what kind of accent that was, but you get the point.
All right, so the Falcons are picking.
Defensive back.
You know what this Kelvin Harmon slide reminds me of? It reminds me of the Auden Tate slide last year.
I think most teams though had at least like a fourth round grade on Auden Tate.
I liked Auden Tate a lot. But I did not see this happening. Where did the Falcons go here?
Telling you, defensive back. This has got to be a secondary. They need depth back there.
Yeah, they got
Told you.
offensive line heavy. Who did they take?
Jordan Miller out of Washington.
Jordan Miller. I did not watch any
Pretty
of
sure he
Jordan
was
Miller.
the third corner. I've seen enough Washington tape. He wasn't anywhere close to the playmaker that Byron Murphy was, but if you just want a guy to stick to another dude, that's fine. Also, Washington uses a lot of that hybrid zone shit too.
Oh, he got some size on him. 4.49. Okay. Yeah, I did not go deep with corners this year.
Best corners that are left, actually. First of all, I couldn't believe friggin' Amani was still left in the 5th round. Where we at? Chris Boyd is still out there.
You like Chris Boyd?
I actually do.
I wasn't a big fan of Boyd. I was I don't know. He was just like he was too inconsistent for me. Like he would have these amazing flashes, but then it would be like just what the hell are you doing moment.
Yeah. A little lost in coverage, or I fell for it, or I thought I was getting safety help.
Exactly, yeah. It was just too much of that on tape.
That's I think, part of – so I know there's a couple instances of that because Brandon Jones in that backfield is awesome.
Yeah.
And I do believe Boyd was more at fault than Jones ever was. Brandon Jones is a tackling machine. Savion Smith from Bama, he needs a little more coaching, in my opinion.
Yeah, I wasn't too impressed
James
with him.
Madison kid is out there. I like that guy a lot.
Who's that, Moreland?
Yep.
Jimmy Moreland. Yeah, Jimmy Moreland was good, man. Jimmy Moreland. What do you think of Valentine?
I didn't see much of his tape.
I just saw him at the Senior Bowl. I didn't dig too deep with the corners. Didn't have the time. I didn't really look at corners. I didn't look at QBs, and I didn't look at tight ends this year.
The way that I tried to do it was basically like I looked at hybrid. I don't think that one guy released his consensus board where he combines a bunch of boards together to make one unified one.
Oh no, he did.
Man,
well, I was late to the party on that.
Gone horrible. I don't know what's going on.
They're trying to hold you back, man. Yeah, that's actually what I'm going by.
Man,
this little list that I have. I printed it out.
I went down like the Draft Network's list from ages ago and just started just going, okay, where do I like this guy? And just say he's somewhere between 1 and 10, somewhere between 10 and 20. I give him like a 10 range, and then just reorganize him. That's it.
Okay.
If I would have told you guys 3 days ago that DeMarcus Lodge and Kelvin Harmon would not be a top 150 picks, I think y'all would have laughed in my face.
I would have said you're full of shit, sir.
Yeah. I'm like, what is going on?
And the 3 kickers would go ahead of him.
Yeah.
I was telling Ed that it reminds me of Auden Tate's fall last year.
Hold on, say that again?
I
was telling him that it reminds me of Auden Tate's fall.
Hold up, it's frozen. You're frozen. Damn, man, fucking.
It's back.
That's a really good comparison. Damn.
Give him Caden Smith. Do it.
Man. All right, you know what? I'm about to turn off my router for like a cool minute. I don't know what's going on, and then I'll be back.
All right, man, no doubt.
This has been very troubling.
No doubt. We got some time.
Oh, wait, no. I think we're good now.
Oh, I just fixed it, so.
Wait. Yeah, I'm gonna just do it just to. Yeah, I'm gonna just do it just to give it a clean reset.
All right, man.
Yeah, I mean, unless it fits itself. Hold up, I'm not moving. I'm gonna leave my laptop right where it is because this is actually it just went good for some reason. My room in my house is in the dead zone of my Wi-Fi. Everywhere else in the house gets great. Like my Wi-Fi connection is great, except for my room. It's very right. I should just get a new house, replace the house. I've been trying to get. I'm gonna be getting a Wi-Fi extender pretty soon, but yeah, it's infuriating at times.
You say you're in Cali, right?
At times.
Yeah.
We're at it.
I live in Central California. I live in a city called Bakersfield. I'm
That's where that air base is.
Hey, another wide receiver. Yeah, Edwards Air Force Base. Another wide receiver taken, but not Kelvin Harmon.
Right.
Oh, and we're officially in round 6.
Yeah.
We're officially in round 6. I didn't even realize that. Okay.
Whoa, he's showing. Damn, how many?
Yo, Arizona,
Friggin' Kyler weapon.
3 receivers.
Whoa. All right.
Oh my goodness. Oh, and by the way, this guy reminds me so much of Devontae Adams Jr. Like, I think, oh man, they did a really. I think their draft class has just been sensational. I can't speak highly enough about what Arizona did. And the thing is that you bring in a young franchise quarterback, give him weapons. Give him weapons that fit what you want to do. And that's what I love about what Arizona did. That's what I love about what we did for the first time since the dawn of our franchise. We've never done this, like, ever. So, yeah. Sutton Smith? Interesting.
I like that guy a lot.
That dude is so little, though, man.
You know what, though, man? He plays hard. Effort.
Yeah.
Yeah.
High motor. We'll have quick
Do
development.
you think they move him inside?
No, we'll keep him on the edge, dude.
You think so?
Nickel pass rush.
Maybe just in a pass rush specialist role?
Yep.
Okay. I can see. Okay. I mean, you put on a little weight on that guy. Hey, that's a very interesting package. Yeah. We're 21 picks away. Man, these picks are just flying in.
Yeah, man, it's hard to keep up.
You don't even see a timer now. It's just pick
No, they don't.
I mean, yeah, it's not. There's no timer anymore. It's just pick is in, pick is in, pick is in. Okay.
Good, man. I like it. I'm here for it.
Nugget.
Bringing it into 2019. I feel like the NFC.
What do you guys feel about the Steelers draft?
But for me, the NFC West is
Little mixed.
so intriguing and so fun.
You're gonna have to say that one more. I missed that.
Oh, the Steelers draft. What do you think of it?
They've done defensively in the offseason with D Ford and now Nick
Let me
Bosa,
see.
Russell Wilson, and
The Steelers draft class?
so many storylines in this
Man,
game.
I mean, hold on. I gotta look at. I mean, I won't lie. I love Devin Bush, so that's kind of
I thought that was a
makes
great
my heart break. But
Yeah, I hate
Deontay
that they got
Johnson
him.
is the guy that Caden. Who? Devin Bush? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hate that they got him.
That was. I mean, but the rest of the draft class, I'm kind of on. But Deontay Johnson is that pick where I'm just like, this feels like he was taken about 2 rounds too high.
I agree.
But
I think the Justin Lane pick fit real nice. Benny Snell was picked about right. I mean, the Gentry pick was fine for where he was at.
Yeah, I think I
but
would
this
give
Caden Smith
the
pick to
Lane.
San Francisco.
I would give the Lane pick an A, man. That was a
Hey,
great pick.
my boy Caden.
Yeah, I would say this. To go back, I'm looking at their whole class right now.
He's slow, but he catches things.
So it's a daunting task.
Yeah, you know what? If I'm being real, Bush and Lane are the 2 picks I love. Deontay Johnson, Snell, Sutton Smith, Gentry. I'm just like kind of very mad on.
Yeah,
I know
that
Sutton
doesn't scare
Smith. Yeah, I mean, like, and I could be wrong on Deontay Johnson, but I wasn't high on him at all. But I know there were some people who really loved him as a sneaky like sleeper for this draft class. But not once again. Yeah. Now the Saints took Paris. No, that's Indy that took Paris Campbell. Have the Saints taken a receiver yet?
I do not believe so.
No, they haven't. But I would say that their draft has been stupendous so far. They've only had 2 picks, but in the 2nd and 4th round, and they've got Eric McCoy and Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, and I think that's just
All these
sensational.
big words you keep using.
Now, if they take if they take Kelvin Harmon here,
You know,
I
it's,
think they kill this draft.
That would be great.
That I mean, or DeMarcus Lodge, either of those
Or
two guys. pairing-
even Emmanuel Hall, because Ted Ginn is
Yeah.
up there.
Yeah, I mean, they could. New Orleans has just been sitting back and picking up just steals. I mean, they did trade up for Eric McCoy, but I felt like that was really smart with the Max Unger retirement. But man, I'm so interested what this pick is.
They're maximizing their picks. I mean,
Seriously,
they're getting great value.
I mean, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson in the 4th round.
steal.
I had Chauncey Gardner-Johnson as my safety too, behind Adderley.
I didn't even have.
I mean,
him
I'm man.
He
Oh,
could
you didn't even
play-
have him as a
he could
safety.
nickel forward. No, dude, I had him as a really high graded player, but not as a safety. Pure nickel.
Or, Gardner Johnson.
Yup. But it was hard to get tape on him where he was lined up just as nickel and versus just as safety. I wanted to see one instance of him in one spot as opposed to being mixed.
Mm.
But you know what? In today's NFL, being in so many sub packages, having a defensive back like that is an asset.
Yes, it is.
It's like, and if we're going to be honest, the way we took Iman Marshall or Boogie Marshall, as I want to call him moving forward, yeah, we can see him as a developmental cornerback prospect. But you know, some of the reports have been that a lot of teams view him as a safety. I love the truest Ravens to the whole mantra of play like a Raven that's on our roster. But Levine's getting a little old in the tooth. Yeah, we have guys like Deshaun Elliott and Chuck Clark, but Iman Marshall would fit that could fit that role if you want to play that corner boundary, corner safety kind of hybrid. He'd be very interesting.
But if they stick him at corner, he should be like a replacement.
Because Levine plays that dime linebacker, and he can play. I mean, if we remember that Cleveland-Baltimore game last year, he made some of the biggest plays on the boundary.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's that kind of not a true role in the secondary, but who can play coverage, who can play in the box, who can drop deep and play, quarter coverage or cover 2 coverage. I think that's just an asset, and Chauncey Gardner-Johnson has that all over him. Saquon Hampton, I have no idea who that is. I'm not going to lie. I did not.
I have no clue who that is.
Saquon Hampton from Rutgers.
I mean, I'm not going to argue. Is.
Yup.
He's not one of those safeties he'll want to hit to.
All right, so I'm not sure. Who's next is Jacksonville. Jacksonville, outside of their 3rd round pick that I have no clue who, like, I read already a lot of people had undrafted free agent grades.
Rutgers!
All right, so tell us about Saquon Hampton, bro.
I don't know shit, man. Rutgers is terrible.
Man.
So who was Jacksonville's 3rd round pick that you were talking about?
Quincy Williams, safety out of Murray State.
Oh yeah, I don't know who Quincy
Well,
Williams is.
Yeah, I mean, the only people that I've seen talk about him all had undrafted grades on him. So it's like, huh? But their other 4 picks, Josh Allen, Jawan Taylor, Josh Oliver, Raquel Armstead, I think those are all awesome picks. I think they've had I still give them an A draft despite that Quincy Williams pick. And if they know something that we don't know about him, cool. But I feel like if that's the case, you could have definitely taken him around this range.
Yeah.
Man, the Titans have been killing it too, man. I think the Titans might have one of my sneaky favorite draft classes as well. Jeffrey Simmons, A.J. Brown, Nate Davis, Amani Hooker, DeAndre Walker. I mean,
Yeah, that's a great one. That's one of the best
this
ones.
is the first year. Yeah, that's definitely one of the best draft classes. Can we really point to a team and say, hey, what the fuck are they doing?
Let me see. Yeah, the Giants.
Yeah.
How do you pass on Josh Allen first when he's right there, and the Giants are known for, like, and Gettleman especially, go get the pass rusher. And then you take, like, the 25th worst quarterback in this draft at number 6.
Yeah.
And then
And
So
then
outside
they
of
moved
this-
up. They
pick a
moved
damn
up back in the
three-pack.
first.
It wasn't even the best
For DeAndre
defensive
Baker.
tackle available.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, DeAndre Baker was their best pick.
And they should have just stayed at the for their second round pick to get him, but they moved
They
up back
could've.
into the first.
It didn't make any sense.
With the 178th pick in the 2019 NFL Draft, the Jacksonville
Gardner
Jaguars selected
Minshew.
Gardner Minshew.
I like Gardner Minshew.
I'm gonna say this. I love his name. It sounds like a Pokemon to me.
Yo, he's one of those dudes that he just like gets along with everybody right away. Like I saw him in interviews and he's fun.
Dude, how nice is that to go from playing in Washington State to fucking Jacksonville? Wow, dude. He's not one of the
Yo.
quarterbacks yet either.
We're really in range. And our boy is still there, man.
Yeah.
Lamont. All right. Buffalo has had a sensational draft. Cody Ford, Ed Oliver, Devin Singletary, Dawson Knox, Woshan Joseph. Really
Right.
love their draft class too.
But remember, if you're a betting man, you take the under on 6.5 this year. No way the Bills win any more than even 5.
Yeah.
Damn, so Saquon Hampton is tested as an elite athlete. He got some crazy numbers.
He did. If you look at his
Really?
combine stats, they're actually up there.
Yeah. 9.9 RAS score.
He had he was
Whoa.
injured in 2016, 2017, didn't play full seasons. Team captain, though, very important. You gotta have a leadership characteristic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, being the team captain on Rutgers doesn't say much of anything.
Let's see what wide receiver the Cardinals pick again.
Yeah.
Kelvin
What?
Harmon.
I would fucking die. They just said, you know what? We don't need receivers anymore
Only receiving
because
core.
they just rebuilt their whole receiving core.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, but even if they don't take another wide receiver, they still rebuilt their whole receiving core because think of it. They got Christian Kirk, Andy Isabella, Hakeem Butler, Keyshawn Joseph. I mean,
This has to be pure defense. But, I mean,
Or at least
where-
O-line.
I know that they haven't
How
even
about,
touched the
Hyatt?
line. And that O-line
Clemson, he's
scares
out
me.
there, right?
I like Hyatt, man. I know a lot of people don't like him, but I like him. Not as a tackle.
Yeah,
Oh,
I like him too.
move him around.
I like him as a swing tackle or a guard.
I thought his 2017 tape was better than his 2018 tape, though. I'll say that.
Man. All right.
Wait a minute.
As long as Lamont,
Help me out. Was Mitch Hyatt the guy in the photo with the Big Macs at the White House that blew up or whatever? It was like, yeah, I got my Big Mac.
I don't know.
Oh shit!
I don't know. No.
They took him?
Oh no, it's Lamont, dude.
That's a good pick, man. They needed something.
Plan B.
That's a great
Plan
pick
B
for them, man.
It is.
Man.
How about Alex Bars?
Yes.
That's Alex, boy.
I love Alex Bars. And I said, actually, I don't know if I said it on here on day 1 or day 2, but I said it in one of my group chats. I know that for sure. If Alex Bars never got hurt, I actually had a top 50 grade on Alex Bars pre-injury.
Whoa!
Yeah, he was one of my favorite guard prospects in
First
this
of all, you need
draft
to
class.
move him down by at least 50 for being at Notre Dame. That's a rule.
No,
Notre Dame,
but
all
like,
Ohio State players move down.
I mean, I was watching Dexter Williams tape out of Notre Dame,
Yeah.
and I was constantly saying, "God damn, Bars looks good." On like
That
damn near
was a
every play, I was just like,
Those kids, man.
I mean, watching Alex Bars, watching Oh wow, Corey Ballantyne, another corner for New York.
Hey,
Ah, that's what we're talking about.
Yo, wait. So they took DeAndre Baker.
That's 3, right?
Yes, that's 3 corners that they took.
Ooh.
Hold on, who was the
You like
second
that?
corner that they took? And don't forget, they took Sam Beal with the what was it?
Oh, yeah.
The
Supplemental draft.
yeah. So they've got hold up, DeAndre Baker, Julian Love,
Oh,
and
there
Corey
we go.
Ballantyne. There we go. Wow.
I felt 22 feet, like Nate shows horizon. I just remember.
And I'm gonna go ahead and just say it, but Arizona's draft is definitely my favorite outside of ours. I mean,
I would go with for me. I mean, I haven't looked at all of them, but when you said the
Yeah.
Titans draft, I really like that one.
Arizona and Tennessee are definitely up there. Yeah, those are probably my two.
The Saints.
And
The
Oakland.
Saints and the Patriots.
I know we when we were leaving day one, you know, there's a lot of ridicule about the Oakland, how they use their picks. But in hindsight, and the way I just cannot speak highly enough about Oakland's draft class either.
Yeah, they
Clear that Dak has
took
a vision.
Renfro before we got on. They took Renfro.
Yeah.
He's building that organization a whole different way than what it was because he doesn't want to damage himself. And good
Yeah.
for him.
Yeah. I mean, I tip my hat off to them for handling the draft the way they've handled it. And I mean, a lot of those guys, you look at Oakland, who they took, I look at them and I'm like, man, those guys are Ravens. Like the way I mean, Jonathan Abrams, you guys already know how much I love him, and just I think he's just going to make such a difference on that back end. And I wouldn't be surprised if Carl Joseph is out of there, man.
I mean, he was on the trade block last year too. Before this,
Yeah.
you know.
It'll be,
I would expect Abrams to steal his job.
they get into like post camp. That's when he's at. When he's done.
Yeah, he's definitely because they didn't take him, so they've got no allegiance to him. Wow, now this is a great pick. Wow,
Dude
I
is
thought
a
he was going
mess.
to go earlier. I'm not I have like a small little hatred with Miami because I went to the worst football game I've ever been to watching them play. When they played Wisconsin in the bowl game and I went, it was the worst game I've ever seen in my life. It was like a D3 game.
The Christmas party when that game was up there, man. I just did nothing but just make fun of it.
Yo, it was the worst. The tickets were free and I wanted my money back.
You got free tickets for that game?
Yeah.
I'm so glad you did.
tickets were free, and I wanted my money back.
I had to buy food.
That's man.
Yo, literally
All
the
right.
best thing about the game was the band. I was sitting right next to the band. That was the best thing. We'll go with the
What?
Bengals. We can see the Baltimore on the little tracker.
Let's go!
Chris Boyd.
Wow.
I'm here with Municipal Court Judge Dan Harris and Court of Court Mark Owens and members of our City of Dayton NFL flag football program.
Man.
Yo, there's still some good defensive tackles there, man. Gerald Willis.
That's a nice pick.
Wow, Travion Williams.
Home run threat.
That's a yeah.
So Travion Williams now going to find himself as a member of those Cincinnati Bengals. Bucket. I really like this pick, and I really like the opportunity for him to compliment Joe Mixon as a 1-2 punch.
Wait, where's that other little piece of shit in the backfield that they had behind Joe Mixon?
Bernard?
Bernard, is he still there?
Yeah, I'm
Doesn't
pretty
he?
sure. I'm pretty sure he's like on the last legs of his deal.
I mean, oh yeah, huh? Man, that's a good little replacement because he profiles pretty similar to Bernard.
More of a replacement for Mark Walton.
Yeah, Mark.
Oh
Walton.
yeah.
Can't stay out of jail.
Man, that dude's a fucking criminal. Man, all them dudes little pieces of shits, bro.
Are you talking all the Bengals players? All Miami? You played.
No, man.
That one's more true than the first one.
Come on, bro. It's the U up in here, bro. Come on, man. San Francisco's pick is in. All right. I know this is gonna sound really funny, but if we went with a developmental quarterback prospect, I would be so onto Tyree Jackson, bro.
Yeah, look. I don't know if you can see what I was just reading. Tyree Jackson.
Yeah. Let's go.
Your official no hyper cheat sheet right there.
Yeah, man. I got my board printed out.
Nice. Man, there's some really good edge rusher or edge options too.
Yeah.
Is Jalen Jelks still out there from Oregon?
Yes.
Yep.
Jalen Jelks.
How about actually I can pull up the list.
Wyatt Ray is still out there. Let's see who else. You know, I know we don't need another.
Kafuzi's brother or whatever that dude is.
Who?
There's another Kafuzi from BYU.
Oh yeah. I think his name is Corbin. Corbin Kafuzi.
Yeah. A really interesting tight end prospect that I heard get like top 90 love that's still there.
UCLA guy.
Dax Raymond out of Utah State.
Oh yeah.
Oh yes, people like him.
Yeah,
but
he's still out.
Oh, he didn't get drafted yet?
Nope.
No, he's still out there. Alize Mack is another interesting guy.
Yeah.
Somebody's got a lot of like though, even though he's slow. UCLA guy still out there. I like him best.
I still like that dude, man. Nick Kaiser as the fourth tight end.
Okay.
I like him, man.
Another edge that's still out there, Carl Granderson. I feel like with his Senior Bowl and all that, I thought he was going to be someone taken in this range.
The problem though is if the Ravens were to take a guy like Tyree Jackson, that's still like what 4 quarterbacks on a roster that can't throw the ball.
Isaiah Buggs is still out there.
Damn, I like Buggs, dude.
Yeah, I like him a lot too.
Isn't Willie Henry? This is Willie Henry's last year, right? Until he's a free agent.
Yes, because pretty much going into next offseason, so at the end of this year, there's a chance
Fulgham is off the board.
Travis Fulgham?
Yep.
Wow, I love that.
Yeah, man.
Lions.
No.
That's a good pick, man. I like Fulgham a lot.
Oh, Detroit took him. That's a really good. Oh, Fulgham and Marvin Jones and Kenny Golladay. That's an interesting little core right there.
I like that, man. He's a dog.
Yeah. He's to me, he was like a JJ Arcega-Whiteside light. Guy who was just.
There was some plays where he was just driving these poor cornerbacks into the ground. He was burying them.
Oh, now wait a minute here.
His run blocking.
Yeah.
I thought they were showing him playing against Rutgers. Turns out they're showing the guy from Rutgers. Like, what the hell?
Back here in the 2019 NFL Draft, you want to wow your friends.
That little kid got his ass whooped in that 40. What, dude beat him by a second and a half.
Just like that, River, we are back here alongside Tony Cassidy.
For all you guys. Hey, look, now we're back in the studio with Charlie Cassidy.
Why are we back in the studio with? But I will say, shout out to Charlie Casterly because yesterday they had asked him who he thinks has done the best in the draft as far as value. He shouted out the Ravens.
Well, you got to go with the Baltimore Ravens here. You see what they did is they doubled down on the wide receiver. They really needed to help out Lamar Jackson.
He sounds like an extra from Boardwalk Empire.
Yo, there's some man. I'm really shocked at how much talent is still on the board right now.
Who the hell is this guy? That's a cool name, though.
Yeah, I have no idea who this guy is.
Well, he played in the MAC, so he's obviously got to be good.
Man.
I saw like 2 Toledo games. I saw the one where they kicked the shit out of Bowling Green.
Man, Jamal Peters is still out there. We talk about big.
I don't remember what he did there.
Hunter, they always said Ravens schedule, or if the Ravens with Justice Hill and all that.
I haven't asked the reactions. Lady here wants to know what your excitement is around Justice Hill.
Oh, I love it.
A++.
A plus
A
plus.
plus, yeah.
Not I mean, 2.5. I love it.
I mean, because it fits the profile of what we've been talking about for the last few days. The guy who can add a home run ability to the backfield with Lamar. I mean, when you look at what we've done to the skill position players for the Ravens, the only word that I can think of is lightning. You know what I mean? We have guys that have the ability. You know, last year we had those 12, 13, 14 grinded out drives. This year we added playmakers who can score anytime they touch the ball. And I feel like on top of that, the threat of Lamar as a runner, the type of players that we've surrounded him with is going to make it the responsibility of safeties, the way they play us, very interesting. Because now we have guys in both Hollywood and Boykin who can stretch the field vertically from the perimeter or from the seams. Same with Mark Andrews. And we have a guy like Justice Hill too. I just think that, like, man, I love the direction that they went with the offense. And I really can't praise it enough, because I think as Raven fans, we dreamt of something like this, but to see it unfold like this, I'm excited, man.
I like
really
how
am.
you emphasize Mark Andrews instead of Hayden Hurst.
Well, I think Hayden Hurst isn't really a seam stretcher the way Andrews can be. I think Hayden Hurst, as far as in the passing game, is more going to be in the yeah, you know, he's going to be more in the short and intermediate. Well, I think, yeah, I mean, I could see him. I mean, and I'm really excited to see Hurst at healthy this year. So,
yeah. With those 3 tight ends and all of these wide receivers, they can do so many things week in and week out. It gives them so much flexibility as far as scheme wise. Like, you only have DBs. You don't have any linebackers, Chargers. Okay, so we're gonna bully you now. Or you're short on corners. You have slow linebackers. You have slow safeties. Okay, we're just gonna stretch the field on you now.
Great pick, Lions. Great pick.
Oh, Ty Johnson.
I love Ty Johnson, man.
He was fun to watch.
Yep.
That dude tore the shit out of Ohio State. Couldn't stop him. And then the worst throw ever by that quarterback blew that game.
I was watching that the other day.
That dude called the perfect play and they still blew it.
You know what's really crazy too is that you know, before the injuries coming into the season, Rodney Anderson and Bryce Love were both viewed as top, at least 2-round top, you know, first-round picks, but 2-round. Let's just be flexible. Top 64 guys. It's really crazy to me that Rodney Anderson, someone isn't going to take a gamble on Rodney Anderson, because if he's healthy, he could be a real sleeper for being one of the best running backs in the draft.
It must be worse than what it originally was.
I know, which is so nuts.
Because he has a neck on his resume. He has a knee on his resume. He has a broken arm on his resume.
He's done everything, man.
I know, man, and I love that kid's game, man.
He's so good.
Unfortunate. I mean, he's so. If you want to compare anyone in this draft class to "quote unquote" Le'Veon Bell in the style that they run, that's Rodney Anderson right there.
You know he reminded me of a lot. Ryan Matthews.
Ryan Matthews, interesting. Okay, all right. You know one thing about Ryan Matthews I have to say? So he's from Bakersfield, California. He's actually in my same high school class. We didn't go to the same schools, but he went to our rival school. And me and that cat, it's so funny to look back at it. We had like so many shouting matches at each other in high school. And to see him where he is now, you know what I mean? Like, was really funny because I was just like, God damn, like I can't even hate on this cat, but like he's from the city. But man, like looking back, I'm like, man, I hated that motherfucker in high school. I really hated that motherfucker in high school. Like I hated him. But I was glad to see that he did. You know, he had a somewhat solid career, and injuries really kind of derailed it. But man, Ryan Matthews is a really interesting comparison for Rodney Anderson. I mean, I think that could be a little bit more realistic of a comparison if he was healthy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a big if. Big ass if.
Because that man, I mean, he's Glass from, you know, that movie Glass that just came out. He's Glass.
Yeah, his game last year was just, it was amazing. Like to watch him with Baker.
Yeah. Oh,
he bailed him out so many times.
Both in the run and passing game, you know what I mean? As a
but that offense is so ungodly, though, man.
Yeah. Yep. And to be fair, I like the fact that we've concentrated and taken so many skill positions. So we've gone to that Oklahoma well to address our offense, because the type of offense we want to build, that offense was so successful. It's smart to get players that were successful in that similar scheme that we want to do. And I mean, we really are the Baltimore Sooners, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, on our offense, we have 3 starters potentially from that offense. That's crazy. Wait, 3? Hollywood, Andrews, Powers. Who else am I missing?
Andrews. Oh, you said Andrews.
Yeah. Andrew. No, that's it on the offense. Yeah. Man.
Wait, isn't it? It's
Orlando Brown's on the right side.
Oh,
yeah, Orlando
Brown. That's the one who man. That's fun, man.
At first, I thought you were just referring to this class until you mentioned Andrews.
Yeah, I don't know how I forgot Zeus Jr. Man. All right, who's Denver taking?
Who the fuck is that guy?
Winfrey?
You take this guy. You take a Colorado guy over Preston Williams. Granted, who goes to Colorado State, but has a lot of baggage. Okay.
I've never seen Juwan Winfrey.
I've never seen Juwan.
I've watched Colorado play, and I don't remember this kid.
I'm gonna say this too. Kelvin Harmon
is still
on the board.
Oh my god.
I mean, Kelvin Harmon to the Titans?
No, I meant the Charlie Casserly.
Oh. Okay. I was about to say
making fun of him in the house.
If Tennessee takes Kelvin Harmon, they officially have had my favorite draft class, period. Man, Kelvin Harmon and A.J. Brown, essentially. With Nate Davis, man.
Minnesota got
and Corey Davis, man.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, Minnesota's got hella picks coming up. Oh, David Long Jr., that's okay. Good pick.
That's who the Titans took?
Yep. Oh. Minnesota has 3 of the next 5 picks.
How much of this is going to bail out Kirk Cousins and still get him only 10 wins?
Man, who are we? All right, so damn, I'm really sad that Lamont Geyer. Man,
that would have been a no-brainer.
That pick would have just.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man, Alex Barr's got to be the pick.
That's my guess. That's my hope, man. Alex Barr, please.
Alex Barr's are one of the inside linebackers. Depending where they want to move him.
Man, interior O-line has actually some. Nate Herbig out of Stanford. Bo Bumshomum out of Wisconsin. Man, I can't say Ben Schwartz.
What's the center's name from Wisconsin? He went back to school. He was good, man.
I forgot, but wasn't he like considered like a top 50 guy?
and he went back, which was shocking.
I thought he was going to be a first rounder, man. He looked amazing.
Yeah, which was really shocking. I remember that. I was really stunned that he went back because I thought he was going to be.
He's part of the reason why I went to that Miami game because I wanted to see that offensive line and mainly him.
If I remember right,
and we haven't.
Tickets for that Miami game were cheap already. Like, I mean, $70 for essentially a championship, even though it wasn't.
Yeah.
Consolation game.
Who did these guys pick?
Who did these fucktards pick, man? Man, Nate Herbig, Alex Bars, Bo Benschwababa. I mean, those are some guys that could be really solid picks for, coming up here.
Tell you what, I am learning all about colleges that physically do not exist.
South.
These are online schools.
Yeah.
Man. Man.
All right.
Oh.
Closest without going over. How much does it cost to go to Southeast Missouri State?
Southeast Missouri State. I'm gonna say like,
oh wow,
it's like about the same price as a Netflix subscription.
Oh man, Trey Lamar.
He's still out there?
Yeah, I was calling him Trey Watson for some reason. My name's been all fucked up. I forgot.
Oh God.
Hey, my linebacker that I actually really like, Ty Summers. I kind of forgot about him. Out of TCU.
I didn't see him.
Ty Summers is a converted quarterback. Yes.
Converted quarterback.
Yes. And he's a guy, really explosive guy. Actually,
that's a highlight.
Man.
ESPN Quan Johnson lighting people up.
Hold on, they put what?
Showing Jaquan Johnson highlights right now on ESPN.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, is brought to you by Courtyard Marriott.
Of course.
The Vikings.
Ready? Go! That's what you got to do. You got to do that over and over again with the stupid horn. Yeah. Yeah, you cheer for a tobacco product and then you clap.
Yeah, I'm really struggling with this last pick. I don't know.
A known Bengals fan would like to have Harmon or Penny Hart for himself. So that's my source.
I would love Harmon, but I don't think they pick him.
I don't think they'd pick him either at this point. I mean, I would love Harmon. I'd even love DeMarcus Lodge here. I'm not high on this guy at all. But if we were going back to the whole speed and explosiveness aspect, Emmanuel Hall fits right in.
I would love that pick too.
He'd be. It almost seems like for what they've been wanting to build, that'd be a perfect pick. Man, a guy that I know, my buddy Corey. Shout out to my boy Corey, who he's been super high on throughout this process. Is Tyre Brady out of Arsenal.
Tyre Brady.
He loves Tyre Brady. Stanley Morgan Jr. still here.
There's a lot of wide receivers there. Penny Hart.
Yeah, Penny Hart. Cody Thompson out of Toledo is one of my favorite little sleepers. Man.
It is 4 Eastern time, 3 o'clock here in Nashville, where we have had a blast.
I'm trying to see who has some return, who has some return value that we could see here.
Loves the special teams guys. Big fan. Always a plus.
Yeah, and you know, if you look at what we have right now, I think that's the one position that we have to ask ourselves: do we have a kick return? I mean, we have Cyrus Jones, but he's no lock to make the roster with how deep our
you realize that Hollywood Brown can return kicks, right?
Yeah, but I don't think they're going to put him in a position to do that because
I don't think he ever returned kicks at Oklahoma.
He didn't.
Yeah,
he didn't. I'm telling you, they're going to make him do it.
You think so?
Definitely. Chris Moore's back there already, so you just have him compete with Chris Moore, and then they're easy.
I just think the injury possibility on I don't want. I don't know. I think I wouldn't put him back there. I mean, yeah, you have that potential, but that's our. I know this sounds silly, but that's our first round guy. I think
You know who would be good? You know who would be good? A good special teams guy? Anthony Ratliff Williams.
I was man.
But I don't think they would take him. I don't think they would take him here either.
If you took him,
Johnny Dixon is another guy. Ryan Davis is another guy kind of in this mold.
But see, if you're doing this, you basically admitted that you have to cut Jaleel Scott and Jordan Lasley.
But can we, as much, I know this sounds funny because, I mean, it's not a brand new GM, but those aren't DeCosta's guys. You know what I mean? There's a chance. And at the same time, Jaleel Scott and Jordan Lasley, as much as they haven't shown us anything up until this point. So I don't consider any of those guys lost. The only guys I consider locks right now are Chris Moore and Willie Snead. I don't even consider Seth Roberts a lock because he only signed like a $2 million contract with like $100,000 guaranteed. So if they really want to be forward about rebuilding this wide receiving core, I mean, a wide receiver, I feel like I don't think we'll take a wide receiver here, but the value just feels too good. And Willie Snead, Chris Moore, Seth Roberts are all free agents after this year. We could be going if, let's say, Lasley and Scott don't make the cut, going into next season, we could be looking at just so far Marquise Brown and Miles Boykin.
One of them's got to go to the practice squad. That's my thing. You can't just cut both of them. You got to stash one. Help you get picked. You know, and to be honest, Lasley and Scott probably would be practice squad guys. You know what I mean? I don't see anybody signing them off. I mean, especially with the depth that's out there, I don't see why someone would not just focus on an undrafted free agent class versus signing one of those guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Here's another interesting name, Terry Godwin.
Oh, Terry Godwin is so good, dude.
I like him.
5 picks away.
It'll be a shock when they draft. Was it Justin Yoon? Yep, totally. It's gonna happen. Tucker's gonna get replaced. The contract was a blow.
I mean,
smoke screen. That's what it is.
There's some interesting guys, man. Greg Dortch. We haven't talked about him.
Yeah, he's another good guy.
As far as Penny Hart, once again, that you mentioned earlier, there's some guys that fit that whole returner kind of wide receiver 5-6 role that creates a competition and give us someone cheap, under control cheaply for the next 3-4 years, you know? Because even though we've taken 2 wide receivers high, and I don't think we started building our wide receiving core beautifully, but I still think we need to keep adding to it. I'm not advocating to take.
But late in the season last year, Snead was returning kicks too. I would do it this way. I would have more returning kicks and Snead returning punts. And like I said, I'd make Hollywood Brown compete for the job, and it's whether or not they feel that he's worth the risk of, doing it. Because realistically, outside of Lamar, he's the most explosive player in the field. And
absolutely.
You need to have him on the field somewhere.
Isaiah Bugs just went.
That's a nice pick, man.
Damn, to the Steelers shit.
Fuck you, Squealers.
Put him right next to Stephon Stewart. That's beautiful, dude.
And Hayward.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's
Wait, man. Hayward. Didn't he? What was Hayward's deal?
With what?
Yeah, man.
No, I think he's still there for a few more years.
I think it's a contract.
Yeah, he's like one of their cornerstones.
Yeah, man. Yeah, they're talking about Ronnie Anderson right now on NFL Network. Man.
Hayward's good through 2020. So yeah, you have Bugs inside, Hayward on the out. They don't need the defensive end to move over till now. It's good. Nice.
No. That's a good pick.
I had a 3rd round grade on Bugs. I liked him a lot.
On who?
He's good, man.
Isaiah Bugs.
Yeah, I had a top 100 grade on him. I mean, it's kind of I just the amount of. I remember last year going into day 3, kind of being like about the talent, but today I'm like really surprised at how much talent is still left on the board going into damn near the 200s. You know what I mean?
No.
At this point, I was I wasn't part. I was just like, man, this shit sucks, man. You know what I mean? Looking at who was available last year, like, oh shit. Now, but I'm like, man, there's talent. The wide receiver talent is still. I'm really shocked because I didn't think this was an elite wide receiver class, but I thought it was a rock solid wide receiver class. But the way it's been drafted, it feels like
weird.
The league was not high on this class at all. Yeah. It's really
so weird.
Guys that I was just insanely high on falling.
I think
It's
also
weird,
think of it
weird
this way
class.
too. How many Super Bowls are won by receivers? And yes, I'm well aware that Julian Edelman was the MVP of this Super Bowl. But receivers don't win you the big games. They don't.
I get that, but at the same time, I mean, I'll say this: that whole pass interference being challengeable now made me think, all right. I mean, we just know that trying to play corner, trying to play coverage is just increasingly difficult.
And now it's way more difficult.
You're getting, yeah. So it just feels like wide receiver might be a position that they say, hey, you know what, let's get some. I believe I say, hey, let's get some guys. But I will also say this: I don't think anyone looks at a draft class in by itself in the sense of, I'm sure teams are at this juncture who honestly may not need a wide receiver need instead of taking a flyer. Hey, I've been saying this all year. That 2020 draft class for wide receiver is special.
Yes, it is.
I mean, it's going to be a special class next year for wide receiver. If all the guys that we believe declare will declare. And even though the Ravens have taken 2 high receivers, and once again, like we said, Snead, Moore, and Roberts are all free agents next year. I can just dream of a Jerry Jeudy, Hollywood Brown, Miles Boykin trio. I can't even say this name, whoever Minnesota took.
You get a bunch of points if you get it right.
Olasameka Udo?
Sure.
Oh.
Sure.
I always love it when they give, like, you know, the random people the card. They got to look 4 times at it and go, I
know they're not
it.
Man.
And the players just sitting there holding their breath, like, just whatever. I'll take it. I'm just happy to be drafted. Usually all the people with names that you can't pronounce end up going to the Seahawks.
Oli Odu. I
Well,
like
then
that.
again, their quarterback's name is Russell Wilson, so I might want to take that one back.
Yeah, on my sheet, I just broke it down to Oli.
That's fair.
Holy, yeah.
All his teammates probably call him that.
Yeah.
And the coach definitely calls him by his last name. Where we at now? 194-ish?
Oh, let's go. Let's go. Let's get to it.
Another name player's off the board.
Coney?
Dexter.
Oh, Dexter Williams. Oh, shit.
Wait, who took Dexter Williams?
Green Bay.
Ooh, I like that.
194 announced picks into the 2019 draft, which has been just fantastic.
I still cannot believe Kelvin Harmon is not off the board. 194 picks into this thing.
I don't get it.
I don't get it.
Oh, we're gonna interview Jason Garrett.
I did not see the Cowboys drafted Tony Pollard.
Yeah, I actually really like their day 3 picks. They got Pollard, Michael Jackson, and Joe
Jackson.
And I mean that I think that's rock solid. Chris Richard is there. Michael fits right into what they want their corners to do. And keep this in mind, they got a lot of people to pay, and Byron Jones is probably going to be a guy that they can't afford to pay. So Michael Jackson, that Michael could be Byron insurance. Have him develop for a year, it could make sense. Jalen Jelks is still there. Terrell Hanks is still there. Maz said that that the Ravens did like Terrell Hanks a lot through the process. So Terrell Hanks could be the inside linebacker that they've not taken up until this point.
He's a guy too that like he looked really athletic on tape, but then he tested like shit.
Yeah,
but on the field he's athletic.
And you know what? At the end of the day, I want to trust the tape. We're going to trust the tape over the combine. You know what I mean? When it comes to, especially that linebacker position, because if I see you play fast and I see you have instincts, I'm not going to trip about a poor combine from the linebacker position. Yeah. If I see you able to get sideline to sideline, hold on, Jeff Z. Jeff Z says they are on the clock, so Houston's pick is in and the Jets pick's already in. So we're behind a few picks.
I'm gonna call this one right now. The Ravens pick is gonna be Ulysses Gilbert.
Ulysses Gilbert, okay.
I like him too. He's a good coverage guy.
What was amazing to us was how quickly he transitioned. In the middle of the year when you have no background, I just thought.
Forgive me though, I didn't watch many Akron games, but
Understanding what we asked you to do, we put him all over the formation. He handled that well. He ran a lot of different kinds of routes.
Houston picks another corner. Good job.
So,
yeah, they need it. I've said this for the last 4 rounds, but man, I would still be so elated if we took Kelvin Harmon. I mean, I understand that Z said that they're not high on him, but at this point, how do you not just swing at a guy who can? Oh man, who reminds me of Michael Thomas so much.
And he's like, who else is going to be there that's going to be as good as him at this point?
Godwin.
I mean, I really cannot believe this guy all the way.
Really favorable for him to have some success. And for us, that starts with running the football. Dak's best friend is Zeke.
I said Trace McSorley.
Whoa. Is that who we took?
I don't know. He just DM'd me that.
Hey, another Rutgers player. Let's go. All right. Yeah.
Each of those guys can help. Obviously, we've been trying to guard Randall Cobb for a lot of years.
Honorable mention All Big Ten, but that was 3 years ago. Where did they dig up these guys? That's great.
Oh, I guess we did take Trace McSorley.
Do it. Do it.
So they want to recreate that. What's this guy's name? Shit. What's the dude's name from the Saints?
Taysom Hill.
Taysom Hill. That's probably what they want to recreate, I guess.
Wow.
But it was a quiet night. It was interesting to see how everybody else in the league attacked the draft.
Damn. I can't. Oh man, I can't be upset about that at all.
I'm sure they see those guys as foundational players for them.
But man, I really would have loved to see Kelvin Harmon. or Alex Bars. So our draft is over essentially, unless they trade back in.
They won't.
They won't. Yeah. I mean, you never know.
Trace McSorley. That's a goofy look.
I think they're going to take him.
Just sitting there with no pick. What was that like?
I mean, if I'm being honest though, I think I would have liked Tyree Jackson a little bit more for that role, but hey, I can't complain about Trace McSorley.
Yeah, Andrew said that he might play DB, but if he's gonna play DB, might as well just take Jimmy Moreland.
Jimmy Moreland would be great. They'll work him out, I'm sure.
Damn.
I don't get it.
Because you roll the dice. That's why.
I don't get it, man. I'd rather take a guy like Harmon, who's like a sure bet, over this project, who's like
everybody, like Twitter draft or whatever you want to call it, like top 50. Look at that. I had it.
Yeah, this is the one pick. I would say of all our picks, and this is the last one, the sixth pick. So I'm like, whatever. But like, with the talent that's still there, you think, man.
Trace McSorley's better than Lamar. I ripped on dude earlier. I was like, Ryan Finley. Now I'm basically eating my own words with that shit.
That is crazy, man.
I must have retweeted though, because that's, man, a quarterback, a running back, 2 wide receivers, 1 O-line, one pass rusher, 1 D-line, and 1 cornerback. No linebackers.
I guess they're going with the UDFAs.
Yeah.
Tell you what, for real though, he plays the Ravens and Madden. It's like playing NCAA football like 2014. Just run read options with Trace and Justice. That'd be sick.
Man, who might play DB for us? That's so interesting.
Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
I think I know what they're gonna do with him, dude. They're gonna do that shit where they did like the Flacco, goofy formations where Flacco just stood there like a doofus, and then
So use him.
out there. Yeah,
Use him how the Saints use this guy.
exactly.
Taysom Hill. If they can do that, fine. Because that shit gave them problems last year and during the Saint game. Chase,
Yeah.
what's his name? I keep calling him Chase.
Taysom Hill.
Taysom Hill. He was giving them fits last year.
We had no answer for him last
No, they
year.
didn't. They didn't.
It was really annoying. Sam Monson just said, man, Baltimore secondary just getting better and better with the Trace McSorley pick.
Imagine he's the next great safety.
I mean, I would laugh my ass off if he becomes. I don't even know what to think of this.
Well, I don't know what Eric DeCosta started smoking between the last pick and this one, but I wouldn't have done it. These Colts fans are happy because they know they're getting Trace McSorley.
All right, so my buddy Dan just texted me. He's a Bears fan, but he just texted me. In capital letters, loves the McSorley pick. He could just be weapon. Transition him to receiving back, slot, just let him grow. He's a really nice athlete. All right, it'll be interesting.
It'll be interesting to watch him get cut and then picked up by the freaking Patriots. The Patriots are going to trade Jared Stidham for like a 4th-round pick and a 7th. They're going to pick up Trace, and then he's going to take over for Tom Brady.
If you would have told me that Kelvin Harmon and DeMarcus Lodge weren't going to be selected in the top 199 picks of the 2019 draft, I would have told you you're fucking crazy.
Trace McSorley's a Raven, dude. Let's go.
If you would have told me Trace McSorley was going to get drafted ahead of these guys, I would have been like, you're fucking crazy.
This is nuts.
Wow.
But you know, I tell you what, they play hard down there.
I mean, hopefully they could use him the way the Saints use Taysom Hill. I mean, that's I don't want to see him at DB.
Even think is the most reasonable thing to do this. I don't see the value in it at all.
Yeah, not to play DB. I don't want to see him at DB.
Right, like I said, Jimmy Moreland is out there. Pick him up.
Yeah,
get guys that actually play DB.
Well, we don't.
That's interesting, man. That'll be another wrinkle then.
Yeah, I mean,
they could give teams a lot of looks now.
Eric DeCosta and John Harbaugh about to go live, so that could be the end of our draft. I guess they're not even going to consider.
Yeah, that's it. They're done.
Yeah. All right, so now I'm going to mute the TV.
Yeah, I'm gonna hop off too, fellas. I'm gonna go watch this post draft.
Say bye to everybody. Yeah, because they're gonna go live for the Ravens pick. They're done. The Costa and Harbaugh and shit.
Yeah.
Oh, what do you mean the Costa and Harbaugh?
Did it start?
Not yet.
No.
They're all going into the room right now.
All right. Damn, Trace McSorley. All right.
The weird. I mean, I'll reserve my judgment to see what their intentions are with McSorley, because it's just
I've seen plenty of Trace McSorley games. He's not any good.
I know, because I don't like him as a quarterback.
You should,
but he is an athlete.
That's a good point. If we were still playing an NCAA video game, he would be athlete, and he would be 4 stars. And then he would come in and converted 62 on your team. It'd be terrible.
All right, boys. I'm logging off, man.
All right, man. Fellas. Appreciate it.
Thank you, guys. Next year. We're doing it next year. 2020, baby.
See you next year.
Do it again.
Hope they're here, man.
Yeah, man.
Jerry,
Pick 32.